All right, Victoria, you ready?
Yes, Judge.
All right, let's roll, nerds. Casanova,
How you doing today?
happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, Judge. I
Ready?
like the jacket.
Thanks.
I am here on last name Escobedo, first name Samuel.
Ready?
Yes.
Do you need a translator? Okay, Escobedo, come on up. You are Samuel Escobedo. Sir, you were charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On January 26, 2025, at approximately 12:31 a.m., the officer observed the vehicle on East Sam Houston Parkway turn southbound in front of the officer, making a wide right turn and entering his lane of travel, forcing him to slow to avoid a potential collision. The officer observed the vehicle swaying within its lane and within the vicinity of another motorist. The vehicle accelerated to a high rate of speed of 61 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone, and a traffic stop was then initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant and observed glossy eyes, slurred speech, and odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant stated he was coming from a party where he had 2 shots and standard filter writing tests were conducted. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 3 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant refused to provide a breath specimen, and an inventory search was conducted and the officer found 2 Modelo's cold to the touch and mostly empty and 1 pint of vodka. The passenger advised the vodka was hers and the beers were the defendant's. Blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Drinking while driving?
Yes, Judge, cold to the touch.
Mr. Escobedo, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm now also ordering you not to drive at all. Do you understand?
Sir.
You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive. If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months of jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. I don't care what your excuse is. Do you understand?
Sir.
I would think that it's elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you are driving. If I find that you pick up a new case, you become a danger to my city, you consume alcohol or you drive, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail, no more PR bonds for you. Do you understand?
Your Honor, for my client. My client is 19 years old, Your Honor. I've known him for a long time. I know his family, and he works at the refineries right now. It would be onerous on him to not be able to drive, and Your Honor, my client would be requesting if maybe there was some alternative, potentially a machine in the car to make sure that he's...
You know, I mean, he's 19. There's alleged 2 cold beers he's drinking while he's driving. No. I want you to appreciate the absolute privilege it is to drive. It's not a right. You want a right, take your Dutch patas and you can do that. No. If after a while you can show me that he appreciates it proactively, right, and I get it, then we can talk. But until that point, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if there's a burning building, you have to save 50 children. You drive. It's really not going to go well for you. Do you understand? It's not set in stone, but I want to know that he's not taking it for granted anymore and that he absolutely appreciates it. And I think that living in a city as big as Houston without the ability to drive blows, and we'll see whether you actually see it or not. But don't drive. I'm absolutely serious. Do you understand?
Listen,
Now, because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Mr. Casanova and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, you've gone AWOL, pick up a new case, become a danger, I will issue a warrant for arrest. I'm going to put you in jail and that's it. Do you understand? You're in good hands with Mr. Casanova. He'll treat you well. Just listen to him and he'll take care of you. I'm going to have you come up here, swear test if you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get with, is it Vanessa? What is it? Fatima. Okay, so we have now Fatima with pretrial services. You'll get with her. And then after that, you guys are free to go. Okay.
thanks, Judge. Appreciate you.
Thanks. Okay, hi.
Good
Ms.
morning,
Turner.
Judge.
Good morning. How are you?
Two for an arraignment today. First one is Walk, last name, first name Fred.
It's a Walker?
Walk, W-O-E-N-K. Sorry.
Okay, Mr. Wong? Come on up, sir.
Other way.
Guys, when you come, please go this way. We don't want you walking by the prosecutors, please.
Judge, I'm sorry, what's the last name?
Wong, page 23. Good morning, sir.
Sorry.
Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The complainant is the defendant's stepson, and on January 25th, 2025, the officers were dispatched to a family disturbance in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer met with the defendant, who stated that he and the complainant were in a verbal argument that turned physical. The defendant stated he attempted to forcefully remove the complainant from the bathroom and then got into a fight. The officer met with the complainant, who stated that the defendant and him got into an argument over a key to the shed, and that the defendant went into the bathroom and started striking him in the face with a closed fist, causing pain. The officer observed small lacerations on the complainant's head and face, and the officer spoke with a witness who stated that she observed the defendant on top of the complainant striking at his head.
What is the relation?
The relation is the complainant is the stepson of the defendant.
Stepson. Okay, do you know the age?
The age is, one moment, Your Honor.
Do we know whether he wants to have contact with Mr. Wong?
So we haven't had a chance to reach out, or we tried, but we had no success. And then the age of the complainant is 47.
Okay, so Mr. Wong, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. There is a protective order that has been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you do something to violate this protective order, the state can and probably will file additional charges of violation of the protective order, and it's one of the worst cases that you can pick up here. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person. I want to know what their wishes are if they want to have contact with you, and we just don't know whether they want to or not. So until we know, you're not to have contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you violate these conditions, if you pick up a new case, then I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest, put you in jail. No more PR bonds for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good job on having a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with her and she'll tell you when you have to come back to court. For now, I'm going to have you just sign a receipt Victoria. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. We'll get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it. And after that, you'll be free to go. Okay?
Judge, does that protective order just cover the complaining witness and not the witness? Because I think.
It covers, let me see.
Sure.
It covers the South Champagne Circle in Tomball.
Oh, just the address.
That address.
Okay.
Do you live at that address?
Yes, sir. Mortgage on home.
Who owns, so get with them, because I don't know how that's going to work out, because they've not been able to rip, and I don't know if the other person has a right to be there as well. If they cohabitate, they share it, it's going to be a problem. So we'll have you guys work out the kinks and then just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Wait, hold on. We'll have you sign a reset
I have
first.
one more, so.
It's okay.
Right this way.
Okay, Mr. Ready? Who's your next?
Hernandez, Jose.
You need a translator, right? No? Jose Hernandez, come up. Jose Ernesto Mejia Hernandez. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On January 26th, the officers were dispatched to an accident at 2200 West Sam Houston Parkway North. Officers observed a green neon vehicle with front end damage on the shoulder of the road. Officers made contact with the driver, who appeared to have glossy eyes and slurred speech. After relocating to a gas station, the defendant stated he was returning from his girlfriend's house. Defendant stated that he had 2 Modelos, but did not know the size of them. SFSTs were conducted, 6 out of 6 on the HGN, 4 out of 8 on the walk and turn, 3 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The ICs were read, breath test performed, and he blew .094. And there's criminal history, reckless driving, 2016.
Any other prior DWIs?
No, Your Honor.
Can you run his license, please? Mr. Mejia Hernandez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. You understand?
Sir.
Believe so. No. Where's?
It's eligible, Your Honor.
You are not allowed to drive unless you also have car insurance as well. Do you understand? You need a Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. If you don't, then you're not allowed to drive. That is a bond condition of yours as well. Do you understand?
Sir.
Now, you have a lawyer. I will waive your appearance, but you must stay in touch with her. She'll tell you when you have to come back to court. For now, I'll have you sign a receipt of Victoria. We'll have you get with Fatima for your bond conditions, and after that, you guys are free to go. All right? Okay, please.
Right
Thanks,
this
guys.
way.
Mr. Petunia, you ready?
I am. I'm here on Mr. Joel Rodriguez.
Okay.
Page 19.
Mr. Rodriguez, come up. Do you have the co-defendant as well?
I do not.
Do you know, do you know?
I'm unaware whether he's on.
Okay. You are Joel Rodriguez?
Sir.
Mr. Rodriguez, you're charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
On January 23rd, 2025, the officer observed a black Silverado and a white Honda Accord at the 7800 block of South Highway 6, turning left at a high rate of speed. The officer made a U-turn at the intersection to follow both vehicles and had to travel approximately 66 miles per hour in a 40 mile per hour zone. The officer observed the motor vehicles to be side by side with the Honda flashing its emergency lights. The officer observed the Honda turn off the lights and both vehicles began to speed up again, driving side by side. Both vehicles ran a red light and the officer attempted to catch up to both vehicles, traveling approximately 90 mile per hour in a 40 mile per hour zone. The officer briefly lost sight and re-observed the Silverado as the motor vehicle continued traveling eastbound. A traffic stop was initiated and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant. The defendant stated, when asked about the high rate of speed, "No, I was on my way home with my friend Adam. Adam was following me home." The co-defendant then arrived, claiming he was there to check on the welfare of the defendant, and the co-defendant stated, "I was following him home, but I broke it off because..."
Sir, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to participate in these types of activities again. If I find that you do, I'm going to take your privilege to drive away from you. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Living in a city as big as Houston without the ability to drive sucks really, really bad. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All I'm asking you to do is don't race, no reckless driving, street takeovers, donuts, anything of this nature. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
There are proper places in Houston to do it, not on 610 or 59. Can you file those conditions, please? All right. Now, you have a great lawyer. Listen, Mr. Petoniak, he will help you out. Because you have him, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but stay in touch with him. He'll tell you when you have to come back to court.
Yes, Your Honor.
For now, we'll just have you sign a reset. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. We get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go. All right?
All right. Thank you, Judge.
So, is the co-defendant on today too?
He was, but he asked for a reset.
How is that possible? He got a reset.
Judge,
Let me see.
I have a very important call.
Oh, that's right. All right. Well, I think we set up on Monday. Yeah. Okay, ready? Hi. What's going on with you?
Judge, I've got a Javier Ibarra Coronado,
Ready?
first setting.
Javier Coronado Guevara. Sir, you were charged with driving while intoxicated. You were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir. Okay, Alex.
Yes, Judge. On January 25th, 2025, at approximately 4:44 p.m., the officer was conducting a city ordinance enforcement at Metro Mart convenience store. The officer observed a vehicle reverse into his patrol vehicle in the back left quarter panel. Minor damage was observed, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle. Another officer arrived on scene and observed the defendant to have glossy eyes. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 2 out of 8, and one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.112 and 0.112.
Alex, any priority to be asked?
No, Your Honor.
License?
No
No
license,
license,
Judge.
Your Honor.
Mr. Guevara, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to drive. If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you are ordered not to drive. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you are not in this country with permission and you go to jail for any kind of extended period of time, immigration will put a detainer on you and you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until this case is over with, and then you will be shipped off to immigration.
Yeah.
I'm putting bond conditions on you now. If you violate these conditions, I'm going to put you in jail. And if you're unlucky enough, you're going to be there for an extremely long time. Do you understand?
Pero entiende.
You are not to consume alcohol,
Mira,
illegal drugs. You will be randomly tested. If you fail to go test, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. If I find that you're driving in violation of these conditions, likewise, you will go to jail.
vas a ser encarcelado.
Now, you have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with counsel. He will tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells you that he can't get a hold of you because you're not responding to phone calls, text messages, likewise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
Voy a poner orden de aprehensión. Igual. Okay.
For now, I'm going to have you sign a promise with us that you're not going to drive. After that, I will get you to Victoria where you will sign a reset. You will then get with Fatima for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go.
Bueno, si luego eso se puede ir.
Page 18,
Okay?
Rodriguez, Jesse, come on up.
Hi.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Happy Friday. How are you? You know, we made it. It's Friday. It's been a week. Good morning, Mr. Rodriguez. So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Unwaived probable cause.
Do you have a Texas driver license?
I'll run it, Your Honor.
And any prior DWIs?
California.
He has California driver's license, Your Honor.
I guess any prior DWIs would be the
There you go.
appropriate question.
Hey, I'll just run it in CIC, Your Honor. Because I see no driver's license on our system, but I'll try to run that again as well.
He recently moved here from California, Your Honor, with a California driver's license.
And I'm assuming that you're going to do the ALR and all the jazz.
Yes, sir.
So I trust you. Doug, so since you're waiving PC, I'm still going to find probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, a warrant for your arrest will be issued. You will go to jail. If you pick up any other new cases, likewise, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. As long as you have a valid license to drive and liability insurance, you may drive, and he will tell you if it does become suspended. If it does, at that point, you may not drive. No prior DWIs?
No prior.
All right, so you have a lawyer. I will waive your appearance because you have a lawyer. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but just stay in touch with Doug and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court.
Thank you.
All right? Okay, guys. Have you signed a reset? We'll go with pre-trial and then you guys are free to go.
Yes, thank you very much.
Happy Friday.
Go ahead and sign for Lisa. All right, Judge. Page 1, Bob, come on up. And I'll get right over.
You are Corey Bob. Mr. Bob, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. On January 24th, 2025, at 10:13 p.m., officers were dispatched to a major crash on Irving Boulevard in Harris County, Texas. The defendant ran a red light and another vehicle struck the back left rear of his vehicle, and officers arrived on scene and saw the defendant sitting in the driver's seat with keys in his pocket and the engine running. The officer observed the defendant to be unsteady on his feet with an odor of an alcoholic beverage. The officer then observed the defendant to be unsteady on his feet and needing help walking at times. Furthermore, they observed red glossy eyes, slurred speech, and a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant stated he was coming from a club and was heading home. The defendant stated he had 3 to 4 drinks, and standard field sobriety tests were then conducted. HGM 6 out of 6, walk and turn 5 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. A search was conducted on the defendant's vehicle, and the officers found a 1/5 full bottle of whiskey in the passenger seat in a bag, and the defendant consented to breath, and the results were 0.175 and 0.162.
Are you telling me that he's consuming alcohol allegedly while driving?
There's no indication of being cold to the touch or anything, just 1/5 full on the passenger seat.
What was it?
A bottle of whiskey.
Right. Mr. Bob, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run his license, please?
It's eligible, Your Honor.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming illegal drugs or any kind of alcohol, I will put you in jail. Because it's a second offense, I'm now placing a restriction on your license. You are not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an ignition interlock on it. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock, I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand? I'm sending notice to DPS in Austin where every single officer now knows that any vehicle that you drive is required to have an interlock. So if you're pulled over and it doesn't have an interlock on it, then they're going to take you to jail. Do you understand? Okay, please. Yes. I'm sorry? 7.
My counsel didn't show up. I don't know.
You have a lawyer?
Yeah, I do, but he didn't show up. George Powell.
Oh, well, let's do this. I didn't realize it. So let's do this. I'll have you sign a reset. We'll have you get with Frichal for your bunk, and it's just hang tight. He'll be here. I mean, we start early and I don't know. Don't fret. I'm sure that he's on the way. Okay. I know George. He's a good guy. We'll just have you take a seat after you sign both your conditions and then we'll wait for him to come. Okay? Please.
Right this way.
All right, come on up, Mr. Diaz.
I do.
You speak English, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Diaz, I don't know why we have you in custody. Well, I'll tell you now.
Yes, sir.
You, with us, have picked up a possession of a controlled substance. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. What I see is that you are now also on felony probation for possession of a controlled substance. It looks like they've issued a warrant. You're set at no bond on that case. So we have to take you into custody. I can't let you go with a felony warrant. So what'll happen is you will probably roll up on Monday's docket in felony court, and then, assuming you have a lawyer, they'll help you out upstairs. So regardless, we're going to do probable cause in our case. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you. I will also appoint you a lawyer this morning.
Yes, sir. I just got done talking to he's on his way actually.
Who's your lawyer?
Robert Vegas. I just got done here talking to him before he pulled me in the room.
Okay, we're gonna do probable cause, and then I'll just have you in back. When we get to any issues, we can always talk.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Please.
Yes, Judge. On January 25th, 2025, at approximately 1:18 p.m., the officer is dispatched to Katy City Park in Harris County, Texas, in regards to a male drinking in public. Dispatch notes described a Hispanic male wearing black pants and a black and gold jacket. Upon arrival, the officers observed a person matching that description walking away from a field where the suspect was reported being suspicious. The officers met with a witness who observed the defendant walking towards the parking lot and west of the field, and then the officer made contact with the defendant and observed him appearing intoxicated, slurred speech, incoherent speech, unsteady without the ability to stand, and the defendant was detained, and the defendant was uncooperative and made demands ensuring the officer of street accreditations, and a pat-down was then conducted. The defendant was in possession of an amoxicillin bottle with the defendant's name on it. The bottle contained illegal contents. In the bottle was a pinkish, orangey, unknown pill and a white pill. The white pill was recognized from training experience as Xanax with a weight of 0.29 grams.
What's he doing? Walking while Hispanic? You know?
What?
Really?
Your Honor, there was a report of a person drinking in public, and then there was a witness who saw him walking to the parking lot, and then they gave a description, and he matched that description.
Let's do this. I'm not ready to rule on your case. Let's wait for your lawyer to get here. I'm gonna have him look at everything, and then we'll go from there. Do you mind?
All right.
Okay, you got it, man.
Judge, you wanted me to appoint someone?
No. I think he said he has Valle, but,
Robert Bias.
yeah.
Page 9. Marquez, come on up.
Come up. You're not allowed to leave in the blue shirt. We'll take him in back.
Misunderstanding.
Come up.
For the officer.
Is it you saying Marquez? Marquez, go ahead and up there to the bench.
You are Catherine Marquez. Ms. Marquez, you're charged with prostitution. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On January 25th, 2025, the officer was at the 5219 Telephone Road location as an undercover officer conducted an investigation at an after-hours club after receiving a complaint of prostitution. While at the club, an officer was approached by the defendant, and during their conversation.
Second, Alice. Okay.
Yes, Judge. So an undercover officer was conducting an investigation in an after-hours club after receiving a complaint of prostitution, and while at the club, the officer was approached by the defendant, who during their conversation admitted she was an employee of the club and agreed to perform deviant sexual intercourse and straight sexual intercourse for a fee of $400.
And I'm going to find that the probable cause to go forward with the case. Can I appoint your lawyer today? Would you like a lawyer?
Yes.
Can I? Oh, okay, let me do this.
Who can I get?
I don't want you to say anything. I'm going to give you a lawyer, explain your side to the lawyer, and we'll go from there. Okay. For now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We'll just have you take a seat in the jury box. I am making it a condition of your bond that you're not to participate in this type of behavior anymore. If I find that you pick up a new case like this or it continues, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand? Okay, please. Can you file that, please?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Judge, next is page 16, top of 16.
What about top of page 9?
I haven't started, I'm sure it's the top.
That's the one that's, damn. Did you say top, who's the next?
Top of page 16.
16.
Go for it.
Nwanko. Nambi Nwanko, come on up. Good morning, sir. Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The complainant and the defendant are roommates. On January 25th, 2025, the officers were dispatched to a disturbance call. Upon arrival, the officer met with the complainant, who stated that she and the defendants are roommates and that the defendant was crouching down with his phone when she touched his phone to indicate for him to move. The defendant then struck her in the face with a closed fist, causing pain and a small cut to her lip. The officer then observed a small cut to the complainant's lip.
Sir, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. There's a protective order that has been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you violate this protective order, they can file additional charges against you. A violation of protective order is one of the worst cases you can pick up. Do we know if she wants to have contact with him, Alex?
He attempted to reach out, but no success.
Until I know that she wants to have contact with you, I'm ordering you not to have contact with her. You're not to be in possession of weapons as well. Do you understand? If you violate these conditions, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Would you like a lawyer, sir? I need you to fill out an application for me. I'll have you talk to someone today. I'm going to have bond conditions created for you to sign. Do not leave until you sign the bond conditions. Otherwise, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. But we'll provide you a lawyer today. All right?
All right, Judge, right below that.
Ashley Orange, come up. Good morning, Miss Orange. Ma'am, you're charged with driving while your license is suspended. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On January 24, 2025, the officer conducted a motor vehicle check on the defendant's vehicle while traveling on the 7500 block of West 1960 Road in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the registration to be expired as of January 2024 and no valid financial responsibility on the vehicle. A traffic stop was initiated and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle. The officer conducted a person check on the defendant and saw her driver's license was suspended as of February 1st, 2024, and she was identified with a Texas ID.
All right, Miss Orange, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance. But if I find that you drive, it's going to go really, really wrong between us. Do you understand? I'm going to have you sign an affidavit. This is a promise that you're going to make to me that you're not going to drive. I don't care if there's a burning building with 50 kittens that need to be saved. Do not drive. Do you understand? Deputy, do you mind getting this, sir, please? I'm giving you now the number to the driver's license division to DPS. This is the number that you need to call to figure out what you need to do to get your license back. When you call them, call at 7 in the morning. Do not call at 8:01. Do not call at 9:50, 1:03. You'll never get through because the lines are so jam-packed. You need to call the minute the phone lines open up, which is at 7 in the morning. They can tell you what you need to do to get your license back. If you get it back and you show me that you also have insurance, I will take this restriction off of you. Trust me, do not drive. Do you understand?
Yes.
You need a lawyer to represent you in this case. Would you like me to give you a court-appointed lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay. I will give you one. I need you to fill out an application for me. I'm going to have you swear to us that you're not going to drive. After that, I'll get you to Victoria, sign and reset, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box where we'll find your lawyer. Okay? Please.
All right, Judge, next is page 17, Patterson.
Hey, guys, can you take him back so he can go to the restroom, please? You are Miss Patterson?
Yes.
And you are charged with criminal trespass of a habitation or shelter. As such, it's kicked up to a Class A misdemeanor. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On January 24th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to an apartment regarding a family disturbance. The officer made contact with the complainant, and the complainant was in a former dating relationship with the defendant and stated the defendant had been banging on the door of her apartment since January 23rd, 2025. The defendant had not made any threats or said anything besides banging on the front door. The officer observed the defendant moving around the rear seats of the complainant's motor vehicle, and the complainant approached the vehicle and claimed ownership and identified the defendant as the person inside. The complainant stated she recently got the vehicle, had not let the defendant borrow the vehicle or use it in any manner. The complainant also stated she secured all the seats, and the defendant stated the motor vehicle was already unlocked and the officer did not observe any signs of forced entry. So in this case, the trespasses of the vehicle. And that is how the information is pled as well, Your Honor.
I don't know if that counts as a habitation,
And Your Honor,
shelter, super fund,
Your Honor,
car.
as the information reflects, the charge is just criminal trespass with the vehicle being alleged to be the trespass. There's no mention of a
I
habitation.
get it, but you kicked it up. Like if it was a Class B, okay. But in this case, the intake made it a Class A by saying it's, typically this enhancement is reserved for a structure, right? Like a house, an apartment, a shelter. I don't know if a car counts. Let's look it up. It includes vehicle. Habitation means a structure or a vehicle that is adapted for the overnight accommodation of persons and includes A, each separately secured or occupied portion of the structure or vehicle, and each structure appertaining to or connected with the structure or vehicle. Vehicle includes any device in, on, or by which any person or property is or may be propelled, moved, or drawn in the normal course of commerce or transportation, except such devices as are classified as habitation. Okay, all right. Ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person and not to go where they live. Do you understand? The complaining witness in this case.
That's where I live. And they here
Let's do
today.
this. I'm going to appoint you a lawyer today.
Okay,
We'll have you guys work out the kinks. The only thing I want is I don't want you to have contact with the complaining witness in this case, no weapons, and not to go where they live or where they work. Do you understand? Unless I know that they want to have contact with you. So we're going to find out. Have you done a RIP?
No, Your Honor, we haven't had a chance to. We can reach out now, see.
So we're going to need a little bit of time.
she's here.
Here, Your Honor.
So let's do this. Let me appoint your lawyer now.
Okay.
She's back there in the head. Okay, we'll have you guys talk, but for the meantime, I'm going to have you sign a receipt at Victoria. We'll have you take your seat in the jury box, okay? Please,
Judge, did you say so?
please. And then, so you saw who that is?
Yes, Judge.
It's the CW, William.
All right, Judge.
Hold on. Do you have an arraignment? We're doing arraignments. Let me just blow through these first and then,
All right, Judge, page 18, Kenya, come on up.
hey, is this a second? Can,
The first one dismissed with PTI.
Ms. Pena, you are charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On January 24th, 2025, the officer observed the defendant's vehicle in front, following a vehicle very closely at the 2800 block of Center Street in Harris County, Texas. An NCIC search showed an unconfirmed insurance status with no match found within the last 45 days. The traffic stop was then conducted and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle, and the officer observed red bloodshot eyes, strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and the defendant stated she got off work, smoked marijuana, and went to a local bar where she had one beer. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant stated her level of intoxication would rank 4 on a scale of 1 to 10, and the defendant was read the DIC, and she consented to breath. The results were 0.053 and 0.056. The defendant then refused a DRE evaluation, and a consensual blood draw was completed.
Okay. So how many other DWIs does she have?
It was just one prior in 2022, Your Honor.
NCIC?
I ran it, Your Honor, this only the one prior.
The other PCS that was right afterwards, right? Oh, so they were both, okay.
They were both dismissed, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Oh, have you run her license?
It's eligible, Your Honor.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming anything, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. Do you understand? Do you need a lawyer today, ma'am? Okay, I'll have you fill out an application. I'll take a look at it and see whether you qualify, and I'll appoint your lawyer today. If you don't have a license, don't drive. If you don't have insurance, don't drive. Above all else, don't consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You understand? Okay, please.
Judge, when you get the chance, can you send that transfer order for court too?
All right, Judge, I have 2 Spanish arraignments. Go ahead and send it to you. The first one is page 8, Hernandez, Octaviano.
You are Octaviano Hernandez.
Octaviano Hernandez.
You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
Ya, $2,000.
And you're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you.
Ya, será
You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir. On January 24th,
El 24 de
2025,
enero de 2025,
the officer was
los
patrolling
oficiales fueron
the
patrullando
5900 block
la cuadra
of Glenmont and observed the defendant's vehicle.
5900 de Clermont y
The officer
observaron el
ran the
vehículo del
license plate
acusado,
through NCIC
recorrió las placas
and observed the
de la
registration to be
y observó
expired
la registración
as of
que
May
había vencido
2024.
desde mayo del
A
24.
traffic stop was initiated
Se inició
and the
un
officer
alto
made contact
y
with
el
the
oficial
defendant,
hizo
the driver,
contacto
and
con
sole
el
occupant of
acusado.
the vehicle. The officer
El conductor
observed
y el
a
único
strong
ocupante
odor
del
of an
vehículo
alcoholic
tenía
beverage,
una fuerte
red
olor
eyes,
de una
slurred
bebida
speech,
alcohólica, los
and
ojos
poor
borrosos
balance.
y habla afectado,
The defendant
falta de
admitted to
equilibrio.
drinking
El
5 12-ounce cans of Budweiser beer, but then changed it to 2 cans. The defendant stated he started drinking at a friend's house, stopped drinking just now. Standard field sobriety tests were administered, HGN 4 out of 6, and during the HGN, the defendant continued to move his head and refused to follow directions. The officer found 3 out of 4 clues on the one-leg stand, and the walk and turn was refused after 2 out of 8 clues were found. The defendant was read the DIC and refused breath. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Right to do the eyes.
No, Your Honor.
License.
No license on file.
Okay. Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to find that there's enough probable cause to go forward with your case. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, and prescribed controlled medication. If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, Mr. Hernandez, you are also not allowed to drive. You will be signing a promise with me today that you are not to drive.
No va a manejar.
I don't care what's going on in your life. If I find that you drive, I'm going to put you in jail.
Manejar lo voy a poner.
If you are not in this country with permission and you go to jail for anything more than 4 hours, it's very possible that immigration puts a detainer on you and you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until this case is over with and then shipped off to immigration.
Anda de migración.
This is the only warning that you're going to get from me. Take it what you will. Every single day, I see dozens of persons in the jail with an immigration detainer. Do not make this mistake.
No cometa ese error.
Do you have a lawyer today?
Un abogado, hoy.
No.
No.
Did you want to apply for an
Ven
appointed
aquí
lawyer?
para que le pongan un nombre a un abogado.
Personal, no contrato.
A personal one, I would like to get one.
You're gonna go hire a lawyer?
¿Te va a contratar un abogado? Tiene que contestar a vos.
¿Qué quieres hacer? Tú puedes contratar a un abogado o puedes aplicar por uno. Contratar uno de tu huevo.
I'd like to hire one. I want to hire one.
Okay, we will give you time.
Le damos
I'm
tiempo.
gonna have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive.
Claro que usted no va a manejar.
After that, I will get you,
Eso.
after that, I will get you to Fatima, who will explain to you your bond conditions. And after that, you're free to go.
Y entonces de
Do
ahí
not consume alcohol. Do not drive.
no maneje.
Okay. THA.
Okay. All right, Judge, the next one is page 17, Oriana.
Aquí, señor, yo soy su intérprete. Por favor,
Good morning,
conteste.
Mr. Oriana.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Para un abogado, uno-
On January 25th,
el
2025,
25 de enero del 2025,
the officer arrived on scene and made contact with another officer who had been en route to a burglary and observed the defendant's vehicle traveling in the middle of a two-way road. That officer had pulled over to the right as far as possible, slowed down, and the defendant still struck the patrol vehicle on the front left side. The officer stated that the motor vehicle continued to drive, turned into an apartment complex, and the officer pulled up behind the vehicle as it was waiting for the gate to open. The defendant exited the vehicle, and the officer made contact with the defendant. The defendant stated he did not know who he had struck, and the officer observed red glossy eyes, slurred speech, a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage. Standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN, 6 out of 6, walk and turn, 5 out of 8, one leg stand, 2 out of 4. The defendant read the DIC and considered a breath. The results were .141 and .145.
Mr. Oriana, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, you will go to jail. No more PR bonds for you.
And there's no license on file, Your Honor.
All right, to be honest.
No prior, Your Honor.
Okay. If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, Mr. Oriana, you are not allowed to drive. You will be signing a promise with me today. I hope you take this seriously. This is the only warning that you will get. I don't know what your immigration status in this country is, but if you're not in this country with permission, and you go to jail for any kind of any kind of period of time, it's very possible that immigration finds you, puts a detainer on you, and you will be stuck in custody until this case is over with, and then you will be shipped off to immigration. Do you understand? Do not drive, do not consume alcohol or illegal drugs. Otherwise, it's not going to end well for
No
you.
le va a ir bien a usted.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Tell me, did you want to apply for a court appointed lawyer?
¿Quiere solicitar un abogado de planta?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, I will give you an
Está bien. Le voy a dar
application.
una aplicación.
I will take a look at it,
Entonces la
see
miro.
whether you
A
qualify
ver si
for
usted
a.
cualifica para un abogado.
I'm gonna have you come up here, swear to us that you're not gonna drive. I will get you to Victoria where you will sign a reset. You will then get with Fatima for your bond conditions, and after that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box, sir.
All right,
Please.
Judge Fleischer. All right, Judge, next is page 1. Alfaro, come on up.
Tony, we need him to, the affidavit, please. Hey, did you guys file the conditions on Rodriguez so that we can get Nathaniel out? And which one did they file it on? They filed it on the wrong one, you said?
They didn't include reckless driving and then street takeovers, it just included,
I see it. Okay, Joel Rodriguez, come up. Okay, we'll have you sign the conditions and then after that, you're free to go.
You can sign your conditions.
What is your last name, sir?
Page 1.
Okay, you are Ricardo Alfaro. Mr. Alfaro, you are charged with harassing communication. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and/or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On August 26, 2022, the officer was dispatched to a harassment call and met with the complainant, who explained she had broken up with the defendant on August 20th after dating 2.5 years. The defendant came to the complainant's parents' home early in the morning of August 21st and began knocking on the door and refused to leave. The defendant got into an altercation with the complainant's brother, and the complainant then went to work where she received phone calls and text messages. The complainant responded in text asking for the defendant to stop contacting her, and over the next 2 days, the defendant continued to text the complainant asking to just talk. On August 24th, the complainant went to the defendant's apartment to retrieve her belongings, and upon returning to her parents' house, the complainant observed the defendant circle the area. On August 25th, the complainant's father observed the defendant parked down the street in his vehicle. 5 p.m. that day, the complainant's friend observed the defendant had been driving past the complainant's apartment, and the complainant observed the defendant driving around her parents' neighborhood and parked outside for a while before leaving. The defendant then attempted to contact the complainant by phone and text messages, as well as driving to the complainant's place of work and contacted the complainant's work asking to speak with the complainant. The complainant stated she has received 50 calls and approximately 100 text messages, as well as 15 to 20 calls from some unknown number.
Alfaro, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward into your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case. Do you understand? I don't care what you're doing. I don't care where you're going. I don't care what color you are. If I find that you try to have any kind of contact, I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand? How old are you, sir?
25.
Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, sir? Okay. Can you file the conditions, no contact and no weapons, please? I'm going to give you an application now. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria, then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. I'm going to find your lawyer. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Do you understand? Okay, please.
Go ahead and sign for your reset. All right, Judge, next is page 21, Sims.
Hey, Your Honor, briefly for Patterson, the complainant told Will that she will not talk to him until there's an attorney for Ms. Patterson. So we can't complete the RIP until there's an attorney.
Did you get a lawyer for Ms. Patterson?
No, not yet, Judge.
Don't worry, we'll work it out.
This is 21, Sims is the last name.
Colby Sims, come up. Oh. Good morning, Mr. Sims. Sir, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do a probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 24th, 2025, the officer responded to a minor accident at the 8700 block of Fairbanks North in Houston, Texas, Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the complainant, who stated he was driving his vehicle, was at an intersection, and the defendant was blowing his horn at him to turn and the complainant could not make a right turn due to the truck being in front of him. The complainant stated once he did turn right on the Fairbanks, he began to drive north in the first lane of traffic, and the defendant drove in the second lane. The defendant began to weave in and out of the lane in an attempt to make the complainant collide with the defendant's vehicle. The complainant stated the defendant made an unsafe lane change, causing him to rear-end the defendant. The defendant began to drive north on Fairbanks Road, brake checked the complainant again, causing him to collide with the defendant's vehicle. The complainant stopped his vehicle, exited, and the defendant did the same, and both began to verbally argue. The defendant accused the complainant of rear-ending his vehicle, and the officer made contact with the defendant, who stated he was driving north when the complainant collided with his vehicle. The defendant stated he noticed the complainant's odd behavior in the rearview mirror when he was struck the second time and had to brake due to heavy traffic. The complainant told the officer that traffic was light, and a witness stated he observed the defendant's vehicle continuously weaving in and out of the complainant's lane while brake checking the complainant.
Said odd behavior.
And that's,
Kind of allegation of alcohol or dope.
no, Your Honor, and that was the statement the defendant made to the officer, that he observed the complainant have odd behavior.
Oh, I see.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sims, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. You were on bond for a very serious felony case of evading a motor vehicle, and now you've picked up a reckless driving. I'm taking away your privilege to drive. You are not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I don't give a rat's behind what is going on in this life. If I find that you drive, because I'm going to have you sign an affidavit with me today, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. It's an offense in and of itself. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you consume alcohol and kind of illegal drugs, likewise, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. How old, sir?
I'm turning 19 next month.
I will appoint you a lawyer today. I'm telling you now, if I find that you drive, and I don't care what the reason is, it's really not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you mind reaching out to the max? I point him a lawyer, please. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I'm going to get you to Victoria, sign a reset, then you'll get with Fatima for your bond conditions, and then I'll have you take a seat while we find you a lawyer.
All right, Judge, next is page 21. Smith, come on up.
Jane Wilson, just also confirm that you driver's license, you know, following up, so.
You saying Smith?
Smith, Judge, was this what's here?
No, appoint. Come up, ma'am. Right up. You're Miss Tamika Smith?
Yes, sir.
Man, you're charged with, terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 24, 2025, the officer was dispatched to a disturbance with a weapon call at an apartment complex in Harris County, Texas. The call slip advised a black female in a red wig possibly had a firearm. The officer observed the defendant matching the description, and the officer made contact with the complainant, who stated she lives in an apartment across from the defendant. The defendant and she had several verbal arguments in the past, and that morning they also had an argument. The defendant began yelling and screaming at the complainant from a parking lot in front of the apartment, and the defendant told the complainant, "I'm going to shoot you, bitch." And the complainant stated the defendant further made threats to shoot the home along with the kids inside after the complainant retreated inside the residence. The complainant was in fear for serious bodily injury or death, and the complainant provided security camera footage where a female voice was heard yelling, "I'll shoot your home and your kids too."
And I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case.
Yes, sir.
Ordering you not to have contact with this person.
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you not to have any possession of any weapons as well.
Yes, sir.
If I find that you violate these conditions, I only have one place. I'm going to revoke your bond.
Understood. Yes, sir.
Would you like a lawyer today, ma'am?
Yes, please.
I'll appoint a lawyer. I'm going to have you sign a receipt, Victoria. We'll have you take your seat in your box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, please.
Right this way.
So can you file no contact, no weapons?
Yes, Judge.
This
Um,
Judge.
Who's Mr. McCardle?
Right there.
Did you know if your lawyer's coming here today?
They said she would be here.
Okay, all right. Coming up, Mr. B. Yes, sir.
Judge, this is Mr. Christopher Martinez. I was appointed to represent him on his first case for terrorist threat. It looks like he's picked up another case, Judge.
Really?
Yes. assault. Family member.
You now stand charged with assault of a family member. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The complainant and the defendant are in a dating relationship, and on January 25th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to an assault. Upon arrival, the officer met with the complainant, who stated that he and the defendant are dating and that they had recently gotten into an argument earlier that day. The complainant stated that he had thrown some nicotine cartridges on the floor and that the defendant and him got into a physical altercation but separated. The complainant then made food and brought the defendant a plate of food, but the defendant used it to strike the complainant in the face, causing a laceration above his eye. The complainant then stated that he began to fight back.
Same complaining witness in the terroristic threat?
No, sir, Your Honor, it's not.
No, Your Honor. It does appear that the complaining witness in the recent assault was a witness to the previous terroristic threat, but I'm still not sure of the involvement so far.
Mr. Martinez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I ask you one thing. I ask you not to pick up any new cases. You have done, because you have done this now, I'm going to revoke your bond on your first case, and I'm going to put you in jail right now. Goes with you, officer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. D. 5,001. Yeah. And tell me, did he get a PR bond on that small case?
With this,
Martinez?
Oh, Martina.
No, he made a surety bond. Okay, so leave that as is. I won't touch the new case, but just the old case, 5,001. Ready?
Good morning.
Okay.
Mr. Sanders, bond violation, you asked us to approach on.
Page 20.
Dominic Sanders, come up. I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. I ordered you not to use. You're not to use anything. Do you understand? I'm sending you for a drug test. You must come right back. If you fail the test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand? Okay.
Judge, if I may, I can of course send him to get tested. I will make note that when he picked up this case, he was doing the drug test 5 days later, and he was going to come out positive for everything that's on that.
Cocaine. We'll see. I'm going to send him for a test right now.
Yes,
We'll see. All right, take a seat for me, sir.
You're going to send it, right?
Right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you mind sending him for a test, please? And waive the fee. Hi. Thank you, Abel.
Morning, Judge. How are you doing? I have two clients I would like to approach regarding bail.
Okay.
First one is Guerrero Guadalupe. He has a terroristic threat. We're asking that bond be reduced. He does not have any other prior violent history.
Why is he still in? Why did he not get a PR bond? There's got to be a reason. Hold on, let's find out.
Okay.
Let me read to you what the match sheet said, so we're on the same page, because I had no idea. It says, violent threats against his ex-wife, threatened to hit her with a walking cane. Let me bring him out. They didn't even give him a PR bond?
No,
They gave him no chance.
no, this is the only guy has pending. You do a PR bond.
But I want to talk to him first,
Okay,
just to admonish him.
okay.
Who's your second guy?
My second client is Ellis, last name Ellis, first name Bakori. His bond is currently set at $20,000 for this case. Last name Ellis.
Ellis.
Mhm.
I didn't know his name. So what I'm reading to you is why the magistrate decided to do what they did as far as not giving a PR bond, making the bond as high as they did.
Okay,
A lot of times they will have more information that we have here
okay,
because they'll do a group search like an NCIC or whatnot to see all criminal history. So, and this one's long. It says, defendant on a 3-year deferred for a state jail felony since 3/21/24, stole CBD disposables. This case, witness called to report a man dancing around and waving a firearm in the air at 5900 Long Drive. Law enforcement officers arrived, saw defendant matching the description sitting at a bus stop at location, saw butt off gun sticking out of his pocket. Leo told defendant to put his hands up. Defendant instead reached for his gun. Leo struggled with the defendant as he continued to reach for his firearm. Holy moly. Finally got him cuffed and approximately 6 millimeter, then recovered a loaded .45 pistol from his pocket. One Leo injured during the struggle, pushed against the wall of a bus stop, sustained minor abrasions. Witness identified defendant as the person she saw dancing, rapping, pulling out black pistol from his pants and waving it around multiple times. Not obeying NFC of deferred public safety concerns, indigent per AFC. That's why they did with the struggle, and he was lucky he's
There's
shot.
no body cam footage, so it's not a live struggle. I would like,
Let's bring him out both and we'll talk to him.
okay.
Nice. Deputy, do you mind bringing out two people for me? I need Ellis and then I need, it's Guerrero, right?
Guerrero.
Ellis and Guerrero, please.